Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper Offersen, and on this channel here we are talking about skincare, and as you see me here, it is just as if you saw me on the high street basically. I don't use a filter on this channel, in other words. So today I have a little bit of a little tad of makeup on, and that is because we're going to deal with a Hollywood star today. We are going to deal with Ashley Tisdale, and she's going to show us her nighttime skincare routine as she did for Harper's Bazaar. So I think we will have a little view at what she's talking about, what is she doing, and then I will give a little bit of some critique along the way. So this is a reaction video, in other words. So let's see what Ashley she has to say. So let's go.
Hi, I'm Ashley Tisdale, and I am going to show you my nighttime skin routine.
Okay. Go to bed with Ashley Tisdale. Okay.
Okay, so my first step is going to be lighting a candle. This is the Being Frenshe candle in Cashmere Vanilla. It smells so good.
So lighting a candle, you are making a lot of particles in the air. That's really nice, it's not super healthy.
Nightly ritual to help me sleep better. So I like to do that. Oh my gosh, I never get that on the first try. That's amazing. It smells so good. Wish you could smell it. And now I'm going to do my first step, which is cleansing my face. I have a lot of makeup on. I had the Being Frenshe press event today, and we went to Air Ancient Bath, and it was such a dream. So the first thing I'm going to use is the Mara cleansing oil, and I like to start with that. So
she's doing a double cleanse, I guess.
Like a pretty.
You started with an oil cleanse.
I'm someone who I can be dry and I then can be oily. Like, it just depends on the weather. Obviously, I am on a trip in New York. Honestly, now this is where I can't see.
So in other words, she has just been out flying, so in the airplane there'll be a lot of dry air. So now she's showing us that she's using this Mara cleansing oil thing for her face. So I had a little look at it, and it actually contains an enzyme. It is an algae enzyme oil cleansing thing, and the enzyme is mainly papain, and that is something that is usually used in the meat industry in order to soften meat. So in other words, it's not something you would like to have lingering on your skin for a long time. And the thing here is that she's just using it just to cleanse, so she's having it on her skin for a short period of time. So I don't think much will happen, and that also means that maybe putting that enzyme in doesn't really do a lot of things. So I think this is just a very expensive oil cleanser. It does have a lot of various plant oils in it. I would say it is rather expensive. I mean, a lot of these things that Ashley she is using, they are rather expensive. So yeah, let's see what she does now.
It's all coming off. I'm clearly in a hotel room, so for me, it just depends on where I'm at, and there's a lot of humidity here, so I'm kind of shiny today. That's my first step. Okay. But because I have so much makeup on, I'm going to wash my face for a second time. Okay. With this nice milky cleanser. It's by Cashmere.
Okay.
It's really nice, but it's like especially when I have this much makeup on, I like to double cleanse, and this cleanser that I'm using now just is not great at like taking all the makeup off. So just want to get out of that.
Okay.
There's something about washing her face that is just the most relaxing.
So she's now doing this sort of a double cleanse thing. And if you just look a little at this product that she's using from Cashmere, it is so that it contains a synthetic surfactants, or one that is a modern one. And there are a little bit, is that a good one or is it not a good one? Is it actually gentle, or is it maybe not as gentle as one hoped it would be? So that is something one could look into. So there is a lot of oils in this product here as well, but apart or to set it aside from the one that you used to begin with, then there was mainly oils in it, but here we have both oils and a surfactant, so you get more like a washing sort of a feeling, though this stuff clearly doesn't foam up, so it's not a foamy thing. So yeah,
I'm like, my day is done, I can take my makeup off. I do not like to rub like the towel into my skin. I always pat dry. It's something that my dermatologist Christy Kidd taught me.
Yeah.
And so I pat dry.
And also you just have some of the moisture really staying on the skin, just sinking.
And I do one more thing to make sure I have the makeup off, but these are Fresh pads. It's actually by Christy Kidd.
Okay.
And they're amazing because especially when you're breaking out, it's just like the best thing for you, but it also makes sure you get like all of your makeup off. Okay. You see? There was still makeup on. Thank God I did this. Christy Kidd is amazing.
Okay, I just had a little look at this Christy Kidd thing, and what is amazing about those pads is that they contain salicylic acid, as a lot of other products, so maybe it's not that amazing as such. Salicylic acid, we have spoken about that before. It is a proven hormone disruptor, so it's not something you would like to use every day on your skin. It is maybe something you can use if you're starting a regime, so kind of like want to really like open up your pores and stuff like that, like once or maybe twice in a week, and then don't do that again, and then have a nice and good routine so that you avoid having all these clogged pores instead, because relying on salicylic acid day in and day out, that is not something you should do. So yeah, let's see what happens next.
She has just been someone I've seen for years. I used to have some breakouts, and she did this amazing laser on my skin, and so I love to do lasers with her. I also love, she has these hydrofacials that are just so glowing, and they just really hydrate. I just love like all of those little things with her, like facials, lasers.
So obviously we are talking about a Hollywood actress, and oftentimes we hear about the skincare of such people, and it seems like either it's very expensive or kind of like, oh, don't really do that much. But the thing is that these people, they are following very strict regimes, or a lot of them are. So they are doing a lot with healthy eating and running and exercises and all that sort of thing. And a lot of them, I think, at least someone like Jennifer Lopez, she says that she doesn't drink alcohol, and I think there are other stars that are saying the same thing, and that is simply in order to be as healthy as they possibly can, because obviously they are making money out of the way they look, so they need to really take care. So just want to say that a lot of these actresses or actors that we are seeing, they are doing a whole lot more than just splashing on some creams. They will go to estheticians and all that sort of a thing, as she is talking about here as well. She's not talking about what she's eating and stuff like that, but it's just kind of like she does this skincare thing, and then obviously she has some appointments in order to have someone to look after her skin. So yeah, let's carry on.
They're always my favorite. I am a minimalist though when it comes to doing skincare. I don't like to like pack on a lot of stuff into my skin, because I tend to break out if I do too much. And now I'm actually going to take a shower real quick, because that is definitely part of my nightly ritual. So I'll be back.
So yeah, we are hearing her saying that she has a very simple approach to skincare, and I think that's a good thing, because you see a lot of people, they are having a lot of steps. I think maybe well, with some of the stuff that I use, I can say that I have maybe, I don't know how many steps, maybe 3, 4 or 5 steps, something like that, but that is not in the sense that those things could actually as such have been put into the same serum, but I just like to keep them as separate, so I have one thing at a time. But if you have like a lot of steps, and each cream contains a whole lot of things, you're getting a lot of stuff onto your skin, and maybe you are diluting the effect of the active ingredients with having all these other things in, and maybe you are getting too much of a certain ingredient if it is in a lot of the products that you are using. So if you're using something that is very simple, you have a lot more an idea of what is actually going on with your skin. It's a bit like eating a lot of junk food. You don't really know what you are getting, but if you're eating very simple things, so you can see each ingredient, then you have much a better view of what you're actually eating. So it's kind of like the same with skincare. So now she is finished with her bath routine, so let's hear what she has to say now.
Okay, I am back.
Okay.
I just took a shower, and now I'm going to put in the Lavender Cloud. It is the Unwind and Rest mood.
Okay, just to say that these products here from being Frenshe, Ashley TISDALE'S, she owns that company. She made it herself. So I think that's why we're seeing several of the products from that company. So here she's using a hair mask. So let's see what she has to say about that.
I love to put this on at night because I'm someone who, at the end of the day, I love to, like I say, do my nightly ritual to get me to just like relax. I have definitely had trouble sleeping in the past. And there's something about, like, it just feels very freeing that, like, to wash your hair and not have to, like, blow dry. I have naturally curly hair. So it's like, sometimes I don't let it, like, naturally air dry. I usually, like, blow dry it. So it's, like, just a really big relief and freeing feeling to just, like, go to bed with your hair
I rarely blow dry
my hair. An amazing, nourishing hair mask that's, like, lavender cloud, smells so good and just gets you so rested.
Lavender?
And
it's nice.
It's just my favorite
Some people are using it to fall asleep, actually, just some sprinkle a little bit on their pillow.
This is for all hair types too, just FYI.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to put that in.
So obviously nice to see that she's not putting it on the scalp, because a lot of people, when they're using a conditioner in the shower, it goes onto the scalp as well.
This is like while I'll sleep in my mask. And I'm not kidding you guys, this is like the most...
So she's going to sleep with wet hair.
Just to be like doing this with you, and it's like, my hair is up, who cares what it looks like, it's just, it's lovely. So next, I am going to put on, I love to travel with this, the Summer Fridays Jet Lag mask, because it's a great mask, and I love Summer Fridays.
Okay. So that mask in its essence contains a lot of ceramides. So what you can actually do, I would suggest using something from like a CeraVe, like this. It has a lot of ceramides in it as well. It has 3 different ones, and the same 3 different ones that are in that mask there, and also sphingosine, and there are some other stuff in here. So yes, that is definitely, I would say, if you are on a budget, then something like this would, I think, work just as well. Some of the active ingredients are basically the same. So yes, a lot cheaper though. So yeah, and just one thing to say about the hair mask. It contains something called Rizinus communis, and you might know that as a castor oil, and when you're adding that to your hair, it can be a little bit difficult to get it out of your hair again. So if you have a trouble getting that stuff out, because castor oil for hair has been popular for a long time, but it can be problematic, and one thing you can do in order to take it out again, it's not so great for the hair, but if you really want to take it out, you can use something like this methylated spirit. So that is because the oil is can be dissolved by alcohol. So why do I have a big bottle like this? That's because I like to do French polishing, so you need a lot of that stuff for that. So let's carry on and see what she is saying.
No, I'll let it sit.
Okay.
My skin never changed. Being pregnant, like, I never had any of the melasma that I've heard about. Like, I don't, like, it's great, that's awesome, but I never really saw any difference in my skin. Weight is a different thing. I definitely saw a difference there. No, I literally like carried, I'm so tiny, and I have no
like for something like a melasma, you hear a lot about it. It's a big problem for some people, but I think I haven't seen, maybe I've seen one person having that at all, and when I've been looking for people that might have such issue. But I mean, in my family, I've never heard about anyone having that. But I think some people are more prone to it than others.
Okay, cool. Now, my next thing is take this hyaluronic acid boosting serum. This is also very hydrating too. So I just like to rub it into my skin.
So that's interesting, because she has this mask on her face, and now she's using hyaluronic acid, and usually when you're using hyaluronic acid, you want a lot of water in your skin as well. So what I would have liked to have seen is that she maybe just splashed a little bit of water on her skin and just let it sink in, and then add the hyaluronic acid, so there was some water immediately in the skin that could bind to the hyaluronic acid. Or at least after she puts it on, maybe just spray a little bit of some water, or just take your hands underneath the tap, and then just take the worst off, and then just quickly dab a little bit of water on top of your hyaluronic acid, so there is some moisture for it to grab onto.
And this next one, I don't always do every single night, because like I said, it just like depends on how my skin is and like where I am in the world. Like if I'm home, and the weather's changed, but like clearly I'm in New York, and so I'm just dry from flying and all of that. So I do use this when I feel dry, which is the Fortuna Skin, and probably the most expensive thing in this whole situation.
I think so too. It is very expensive for just a bunch of plant oils. Basically it costs about $225, so I would say yes, that is expensive, but it might be a little bit difficult to find out if it is most expensive of the products, but it is. The other products, they are rather expensive as well, and I would say apart from all the plant oils that are in this product here, and they are hand picked and all that sort of thing, when they are producing the oil, and that sounds really, really lovely, and it's an Italian company or from Sicily, but some immigrants in America making a product in Sicily where his family comes from. So I would say one of the more active ingredients in it is vitamin C. So apart from all the oils in the product, there is vitamin C, and I think that is mainly maybe what is doing the trick. But let's see how much she's using.
Just a little drop.
2 drops. It's not a lot.
I really think it's super dry around my nose. My grandma, literally since she was young, has put Vaseline all over her face, like every single night. And
a lot of people do that nowadays.
And I told her, I was like, oh my God, I was like, Mama, like slugging is what you have been doing your whole life. And she was like, what? I was like, it's on TikTok, it's called slugging and it's Vaseline. I always thought it was like wild because I don't know how she's done it, and like I don't know how you do slugging. Like I literally have Vaseline because I do it around my eyes, but it's just so heavy and thick, and I don't know.
Yeah, it can be rather heavy and thick to put a lot of Vaseline on your skin. So I have a little one here, Vaseline. It's a lip therapy, basically just a Vaseline. So one thing one can do if you don't want to have it very sort of a thick greasy layer is that you can take a little bit of mineral oil like this, and then you can take kind of like maybe half and half in volume of the Vaseline and then the mineral oil, and then you just combine it in your hands, and then you take it underneath the cold water just a little bit, and then go like that, a little bit more, and then kind of like get some sort of emulsion going on, and then it will slide much easier with the water, and then just quickly dab it over your face, and then the water will sink into your skin, and the mineral oil and the Vaseline will sort of like lock in the moisture without you being completely overwhelmingly greasy. So that is one way to get the benefit of the Vaseline and the mineral oil and the water without it being a huge greasy affair, really.
Like she keeps her hair up every single night, so I'm like, that's clearly, and like she probably doesn't move, but I'm like, I'm a mover, I'm a side sleeper, so it's like that's coming off of my pillow. So I'm not into slugging, but I definitely believe in it because my grandma has looked amazing her whole life, like such young skin. She's really someone who's taught me about everything about skincare, like hand cream and like making sure you always use hand cream. I never did before, and she was like, it's so important, like hands age faster than the face. And I was like, geez, like she's so...
Yeah, but the thing with the hand cream is that you're constantly washing your hands, and you've just put that cream on, and then you just find yourself doing something that you need to wash your hands afterwards again. I mean, one should really use a lot of hand cream, but it's just a hassle to do it because it's just with all that washing your hands all the time. So I'm just thinking that her grandmother might also, now that she's talking about that she was not into skincare and stuff like that, and she really does all that sort of thing for her skin, then I'm thinking that maybe such person might also think a little bit about what the person is eating. So it's usually when you are very much into skincare, you might also be a lot into other health stuff that is helping your skin looking nice and radiant even into old age. So let's see what else he has to say.
So good at all that stuff. So yeah, my grandma was slugging before everyone was slugging, I have to say. But I do use Vaseline. I like to do around the eyes. And I've been doing like...
I'm thinking she's pulling a little bit a lot on her skin, which is kind of like doing like that. There's more like if you're massaging your skin and really you have a slip on the skin, you can like move your skin to kind of like in a sort of a soft way, kind of like. Where here I think she's kind of like she's pulling her skin, and obviously it is because the Vaseline is rather thick, but maybe she should just add a little bit of mineral oil to it and then really just warm it up in her hands before she puts puts it on, so it kind of like glides a little bit better than what we are seeing here.
Eye creams and stuff around my eyes since I was in my 20s. Like, I always feel like preventative skincare is so important. Okay, so then my next...
But an interesting thing is that we are not seeing any sort of eye cream. So we are just seeing that what she does for the entire face is what she's doing for her eyes as well. And then she's just adding this little bit of vaseline, and that's basically what she does for her eyes. So she's not using an eye cream, neither am I. So yeah.
Thing is, I had to get it. I have to get it. The Road Lip.
If you can get it,
really
you can get it if you are in the United States or if you are in Canada, but here in England you cannot get it, and they won't ship it to you.
I have it all three, like the 2 flavors and like the one that's not flavorful. And it is.
So looking at the ingredients list, what I immediately spotted was that there is something called microcrystalline wax in it, and what that does is that actually it keeps the product on your lips for longer, whereas if you're just using something like a Vaseline, for example, just on your lips, it won't last that long. It's perfect when it's on your lips, but it won't last that long because it easily kind of like slips and goes away. So there is another product you can also use if you like to use something with a microcrystalline wax in it, and that is this new one here from Vaseline, and it's a double thing. But I just bought it for this one here. So it has this lip balm here, and it has this microcrystalline wax in it, and that makes it last a lot longer if you're just using Vaseline. So yeah, also it glides on really nicely, and it's not overwhelmingly shiny. So yeah, that was just one thing you can do if you like to have some microcrystalline wax on your lips. It will keep them moist for a long time, but you won't get this sort of overwhelmingly glossy effect from the product from Hailey Bieber.
It's so good. I could sit here for a long time and do this. It's super, I just like love going to bed with it. Then my next product, now this one is my Being Frenshe product. It is the
so one of her own products again.
And I use it in Soothing Comfort, which is the Cashmere Vanilla. As you know, I have anxiety. And so, like I said, I do a whole nightly ritual to help me get better sleep. And sometimes I'll have like tension and stress from the day, and it's like really in my neck. And this has magnesium in it, so it really relaxes your neck, and it feels so good, and I swear it helps me sleep better. I used to use magnesium spray, and I hated it because then it like does this like burning thing to your hands, and you have to like wash it off right away, and I don't even have to touch this. Like literally I just put it like wherever I'm feeling tension, which is always my neck, sometimes my jaw, and I just put it on those areas.
Okay, so if you have this sort of tension, you would like to use magnesium, then you can use magnesium salt as well, so you can have a bath in it just like in the Dead Sea. And I do that sometimes. It's really good because it also loosens up the dead skin cells to make them really easy to take away afterwards.
Oh, that feels so good. I'm like, I call it the magic stick, to be honest. Like, it's just amazing. I've been using this since I developed it in the early stages because I wanted to make sure I got it right, and I'm not kidding you. It's like anytime I've ever felt like anything and I put it on, I'm like, the next day it's no problem. It's so good. You can use it anytime, during the day, at night. And lastly, I use my Being Frenshe Lavender Cloud Hair Body and Linen Mist, and I just kind of spray it.
You would think it was a setting spray, but it's not.
And it's just like the most relaxing smelling scent. And it's like, I am ready to go to bed. And I'll sometimes spray this on the pillow, of course. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had so much fun.
Bye-bye, Ashley.
Check out Being Frenshe.
So yeah, that was the nighttime routine from Ashley Tisdale. So yes, if you'd like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do those things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.